Hi everybody, it's Gina and I'm back with another video, and this one is all about um, my colonoscopy prep. I've been trying to record this for the last 30 minutes and my camera wouldn't work. We tried to do it live stream and something I downloaded kind of messed up the computer, and I'm about half an hour behind when I should have started drinking this stuff. So I went ahead and started to drink it while I was attempting to fix the computer got fixed, and lo and behold, the camera was working. So I decided I'd go ahead and pick up from here. So anyway, what I'm drinking here is just drop the empty bottle, is this stuff. This is the second bottle that I have to do at 10 o'clock tonight. This is the empty one. There's two bottles that come in the kit. You simply take this, you pour into this provided container, and then you fill it with your choice of clear liquids. And the clear fluids actually are it's a pretty wide range of things that you can drink or can add to it. I chose to add green tea, but you can add water, apple or white grape juice, broth, coffee or tea, as long as there's no milk or creamer. Clear carbonated beverages like ginger ale, Sprite, 7-Up, I guess, those kind of things. Gatorade, as long as it's not red. Kool-Aid, as long as it's not red. Those kind of things you can mix with this. We just can't drink alcohol on the day before the procedure. So this is my first container of this, and what I did was I just poured it in, and then I filled it up to the line right here, which is a 16 ounce line. I did that with green tea, just by this kind of green tea. I figured it would be easy. So I've got a little bit left in there for the next one. For the last, well, you know what? Let me just go ahead and finish drinking this because it's really not that pleasant. Oh my gosh, what does this taste like? I wish I could even taste the green tea, but I really can't. It is like a really nasty electrolyte drink, sort of. And I managed to drink all of that except that little bit, and it really isn't tasty. Ugh. I truly believe this is like the worst part of any of these preps, because I did one when I had a stomach biopsy a few months ago, but it was a much bigger container that we had to chug. Gosh, I think it took me like 3 or 4 hours to chug that one. This one's a little bit easier. It's just nasty. Alright, last little bit. Mm. Mm. Oh gosh. Mm. Yeah, I was trying to do live stream earlier. Would have been my first live stream on YouTube, but we couldn't get it to work. So I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and start this thing and try to fix the laptop at the same time. And I should have started from 4 o'clock. It's 4:40, but hey, my next one will just be at 10:40 tonight. It's really not that big of a deal. My procedure is at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, but I have to be at the hospital at 7 so that they can do all of the IV and all of the prep stuff that they've got to do. Alright guys, last little bit. Mm. Mm. Ugh. Oh, that's nasty. Alright, so that's the first one down. The next one isn't until 10:40 tonight, but in the meantime, I have to drink, let me tell you. In the meantime, I've got to drink at least 5 8-ounce glasses of clear liquids, taken at my own pace within the next 4 hours. So I've got a lot of fresh coconuts outside. I'm just going to start whacking and pouring some coconut water. I also have tea, and I can also make lemonade. So they do give you some options. As long as it's clear, you are allowed to drink those. So 5 8-ounce glasses of clear liquid over the next few hours until I start the next bottle at 10:40 tonight. Now I've been doing this prep for the last 5 days actually. 5 days before, wasn't allowed to take any kind of fiber supplements, nothing that would stop diarrhea, no kind of products that contain iron, no vitamin E, um, and then 3 days before, I wasn't allowed to eat any kind of high fiber foods such as popcorn, beans, seeds, multigrain breads, and these are all the kinds of things that I like. Nuts, salads, vegetables, fresh or dried fruit. Um, and I eat a lot of fresh fruit, and every time I picked up a mango, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't eat this today. So, um, literally, it's been about 3 days since I had any real food. Yesterday, I pretty much ate soft stuff like applesauce and yogurt. Um, I think I slipped up in the morning and completely forgot and had a piece of banana bread. Whoops. But anyway, I'm sure this thing will, clear all of that out. The day before, which is what this is the day before is when I have to do all of this prep, and I'm sure that if you've done this before, you know this is not pleasant whatsoever. So until tonight, I am going to just take a break here, and I'm sure that over the next few hours, the toilet is going to become my best friend. So I'm going to just go ahead and stop here, and we'll pick up later on when I do the second container, and I will let you know how the day is going. All right, so stay tuned, and I will see you all later on. Okay, so it's been 2 hours since I drank the first container um, of the prep solution. It took an hour and a half for it to start working. Prior to that, I had really bad stomach cramps. A couple of times I felt like I was going to throw up, but I didn't. A couple of times I felt like I really needed to go, and I made a mad dash for the restroom, and false alarm. I do have issues with gastroparesis, so maybe that's what was kind of kicking in, but there were a couple of times when I really thought I was going to throw up. Right now, I'm just really tired. I had one bout with migraines in the last 2 hours since I drank this. I do have ice pick headaches, and I don't know if the solution has anything to do with that, but I did have one bout of the ice pick headaches in the last 2 hours since drinking. I've downed. This is my second container. This is actually a 12-ounce mason jar, and the first one that I drank was completely filled. I'm supposed to drink at least 5 8-ounce glasses of clear fluids between from when I started at 4:40 until I take the second container at 10:40 tonight. So this is my second 12 ounce, so that's 24 ounce, almost 24 ounces. And this is lemonade that I made. I also have coconut water, and I also have iced tea. It has to be clear fluids, and it cannot be definitely not red. And they also told me I can't drink anything that's purple, so those colors are kind of out. I almost in the 2 hours, actually in the last half an hour, my youngest son and I went outside and we picked some grapes because I've got 3 grapevines that run along my fence, and I've got a lot of grapes on there right now. So we took a bunch and sent over to the neighbors, and I said, well, let me see if these are quite ripe. There's one that I picked up and didn't feel quite ripe, so I went, and then it hit me. I can't eat this grape. I can't eat this grape until the next 2 days. Oh, that was so hard. That was so hard. But it's like, okay. But anyway, I sent quite a large container of grapes over to the neighbors, and we've been picking on this grapevine for the last couple of weeks, and it still is not showing any signs of stopping. So, but in the last couple of hours, just to kind of keep my mind off of all of this stuff, I went outside and I watered the vegetables, and actually picked some beans, brought those inside, and I've got a couple books. You want to have a few books available so that in the restroom, don't wait to have to look for one before you go in. So have a couple books already in there, so whenever you go in, you could just relax and read, or whatever the case is. Because trust me, you want to be close to the restroom whenever you gotta go. So that's the last couple of hours. I took this at 6:40, and it's now, I mean, I took it at 4:40. It's now 6:50. So I have another, I'm going to drink about another 3 of these, which will be, this is 12, so that would be 60 ounces, and I'm really only, they recommend, five times is 40 ounces. So this, if I drink another 3 of these, that would be 60 ounces by 6:40, and then I will be taking the second bottle of the prep solution at that point. So until then, see you later. Okay, I am back. It is 10:40, and it is time for the second dose of the prep material. This is what the bottle looks like. I didn't get a chance to show it to you earlier because, like I said, I had some issues with the laptop. I wanted to go ahead and just get this thing started. So this is what it looks like. So all I'm going to do is to just go ahead and open it. And it does come sealed, but I went ahead and pre-opened the top so that I wouldn't be working on trying to open it. And this is the container that it comes with. Simply pour everything into the container, and it takes up, I think, about half of it, and then we fill fluids up to here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my iced tea, and it goes all the way up to, ooh, just enough, up to the fill line, a little bit more. And then we simply stir it up. Yeah. Check out that goodness.
Looks like something.
So, some of you might be thinking, well, why am I getting a colonoscopy in the first place? Well, I'm not gonna start drinking this just yet. Just, ugh, just a thought. Well, I do have. If you followed me before on YouTube, you'll see that I have lupus, and I was recently diagnosed with POTS, and had atrial fib confirmed. So this is just a lot that's going on in my body. I had a stomach biopsy done, and it showed a lot of inflammation. So I wanted to go ahead and just check out the rest of the digestive system to make sure that everything was okay as well. I do have tend to have bouts with gastroparesis. I have there's a lot of bloating periodically, and it's just not normal. It's the digestive system is just not working the way that it is supposed to. So anyway, my colonoscopy is scheduled for a few hours from now, from 9 o'clock in the morning, and I have to be at the hospital by 7. It's this is not particularly tasty, but I wanted to go ahead and do this, record this moment so that you all will have, for those of you who haven't had one or planning on getting one, this is probably going to be the worst part of the overall preparation, is drinking this stuff. And this is my second one. The first one wasn't too bad going down, but it does taste horrible, in my opinion. I watched a video earlier and this guy drank it like he was drinking, I don't know, Kool-Aid. Something really, really nice tasting. He drank it with a straw, just nonchalantly. This just tastes really horrible to me. But down the hatch. Mm. Ugh. There is really have nothing nice to say about this. I'm sorry. The guy I watched earlier said that it tasted like salty, salty Gatorade, salty something, but this does not remind me of Gatorade. It definitely is salty, and I use the green tea to hopefully kind of cut some of the awesome, I mean the, I said awesome, but oh, trust me, it's not awesome. The nasty feeling of it, but the taste is just, oh, anyway. Uh, Mm, mm. Oh, I try to chug it, but oh my gosh, you don't want to do that. Take your time, because chugging it might cause you to puke. Ah, if you do have issues like gastroparesis and you chug this, you might end up bringing the whole thing back up. Earlier, I really did feel like I was going to throw up after I drank the whole thing, but I managed to keep it down, and it did start to work, and it worked really well. And I've been sitting in this chair for a while, just working on videos, and the restroom is only about maybe 15 feet away. So you want to stay close to the restroom. My son is actually checking it right now. He's checking the distance. But yes, it's really close. So especially after the second one, you're going to want to be really close to the restroom. The first one, I don't know if you just heard that. That was my stomach making these really awful noises. Oddly enough, take another sip. Mm-hmm. Oddly enough, I've been really bloated, and I think it's because I haven't eaten anything for like or anything real for the last 3 days. But so I know there's a lot of gas built up in there. Plus, this is really all that I've been drinking, apart from the five. I think I had um 60 ounces of fluids since 440. Since I started at 440, I managed to drink about 60 ounces of clear fluids. So I've been pretty good at that, and this stuff really does work. So anyway, more sip. Mm. The quicker you can get it down, the better, to be honest with you. But unless you can find something really delectable to put in here to cut this taste, oh, I think this one, the second time around, is worse than the first. Oh, mm. Ooh, I'm really trying. Oh, sorry. Ooh, I'm sure the experience for you is probably not going to be quite as bad. I think everybody has their taste preference and their, I don't know if this is even a word, their taste tolerability. I think I just invented that one. But this is a taste that I really cannot tolerate. It's just now it's just feeling really slimy on my tongue. So I really hope I'm going to keep that down. But yeah, if you go back and you can check out my YouTube channel and you can see a lot. There's a lot that I post about lupus and my experiences with lupus and chronic illness in general. I also post a lot of stuff about things I like to do, like painting, gardening. There's a lot of those type of videos as well, because I try not to let chronic illness really get to me. I try not to let it keep it down and keep me from doing the things that I like to do. So, but periodically I have to do minor surgeries. I think in 2016 I had 5 surgeries. I think it's 5. And so far for this year, I've managed to, go through without having any kind of surgeries. So this will be my first, and I don't really consider this a surgery. But they do have to put me out, and I'm sure there's going to be like a few biopsies that are done, and they've recommended that I am not alone for at least 24 hours. So I have someone who's coming in, someone's taking me there, bringing me back, and someone else who's coming in to stay with me for at least 24 hours. So there is there's always a chance with any kind of procedure that something could go wrong. So the preparations have been made for me to have someone here. I get. I think it's primarily because of all of the health issues that I have to deal with. So they just want to make sure all bases are covered. Really. Anyway, I think I'm. I thought I was going to say halfway, but I'm not even close. Mm. Woo. Oh. 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 Gosh. Woo. I didn't think I could even make those kind of faces, but oh. All right, a little bit more. They would talk some more. I couldn't even do it. Mm. Just a thought. Oh gosh. All right. Mm. Oh. Oh no, don't need a bucket. My son just asked me if I need a bucket. Oh, I have to keep this down. It's got to stay down. They've been trying to get this thing done for the last 8 months. I couldn't do it. It was scheduled for December 2016. We couldn't do it then because in November of 2016 I had a full hysterectomy. So I needed time to recover from that, and they said I needed really about 6 months to completely heal before they even thought about doing the hysterectomies. I mean, thought about doing the colonoscopy. So um, this is something that I've got to do. It's long overdue. I'm not 50 yet, but for the issues that I've been having, it's something that I've got to get done. So I've got to get this down. Oh, oh, oh my gosh. Mm. Whew. Oh, mm, we're really not supposed to dilute this. We're supposed to drink this as it is, and then afterwards, I have to have at least another three 8-ounce uh, glasses of my preference for clear fluids. And wow, so otherwise I would be diluting this with something else because oh my gosh. Mm, mm. We're almost there. Mm. It it tastes almost like a really salty. I want to say Gatorade, but that's giving Gatorade a really bad name. It doesn't even. Ugh. It's just really thick and um, I guess if it wasn't so, it's like a viscous fluid. Um, just not doesn't even feel good. I guess if it wasn't so slimy feeling, it would be a lot easier going down. But mm, 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 can't do it. Can't do it. Oh, all right. Mm, all right. We got to try to think about something positive. I'm almost there. Positive thoughts about this drink. What can I say positively about this drink? What can I think positively about this drink? Mm. Oh, oh, mm, mm. Ugh. Well, I haven't had any headaches in the last couple of hours, so at least that's good. Because I wasn't sure if this was actually causing me to have those headaches, even though I do have I do get the migraines, but mine are the ice pick headaches, and I haven't had any since that first bout in the first half an hour after I had the um the first batch. The only thing I had to deal with was like the nausea and the bloating and of course the frequent trips to the bathroom. But that can be expected considering what we're drinking. Anyway, I'm almost there. Almost there. Oh, I really do feel like I'm gonna. Oh, I really do feel like I'm gonna puke, but I can't. Just can't do it. Worked too hard to get this stuff down. Whew. Like I said earlier, I had a stomach biopsy several months ago, and this is really not. I don't think it was as bad as that one was. I had to drink a lot more of that particular fluid than this. I think this one is just feels really slimy. It's just not pleasant. The other one was unpleasant and there was a lot of it, but I managed to get it down. But this one is just difficult to get down, even though there's really not too much of it. Whew. Can't believe I made it this far. This has taken me, what, almost 20 minutes to drink. And if I make any burping sounds, please forgive me. Just trying to document the actual experience. And tomorrow morning, I'll also document the, all the prep work as I'm at the hospital. I am going to ask. Whew, I am going to ask if part of it can be recorded and given to me so that I can attach that to this video. You can have an idea of what um, the actual experience there is like, or the actual colonoscopy is like, um, or I'll have them take a few pictures, and that way, well, I can have that for my records. Plus, I can also show you kind of what they're looking for. I don't think they will actually give me a video footage. Um, I don't know, maybe, but not sure I really want to be showcasing my backside or the interiors of my behind on the video. But I'm sure I will show probably a couple pictures, and then I'll discuss what the results were, what the overall experience was, from the prep and getting through to the end of the colonoscopy with the recovery and stuff. Oh, I think I am nearing the end. Ooh. Mm. Oh. Oh. Mm. Oh. All right, guys. I'm almost at the end. After this, I'm going to be signing off until tomorrow morning when I actually go in to get the procedure done. I'm going to be leaving here at around 6:30. Whew. Oh, okay. Last bit down the hatch. Mm. Whew. Whew. All right, that's done. So I will see you in a few hours as I attempt to keep all of this down. And I will fill you in on everything else starting tomorrow, which will be in about, wow, it's 11 o'clock. That took me about 20 minutes to drink, but it's down. And I know it's working. So I will see you in the morning. Have a good night, everyone. Hey, everybody. It's 12:04, and I am back home from the procedure. Everything went well. I'm still a little loopy right now, so I'm not gonna drag this out. Um I really don't remember anything about the surgery, but I'll go into a little bit more detail about everything later on when I'm not um, so tired. I'm excuse me. I'm just gonna go and take a nap. Most people say they come out of a colonoscopy and they can go and go off and have like a meal or something. It's just I am just so tired right now. I think I'm managed to get to bed around 4, and I was up by 5:30 to get ready to be picked up and taken to the hospital. So I'm really tired, and that little nap that I got with the anesthesia, I think that's why I'm still a little tired, because I'm a little knocked up from that. But everything went well. And I did get some primary results, and I have to do a follow up with my GI doctor in a couple of weeks for some other stuff. So I will talk to you later, and I will get into a little bit more detail when I'm not so loopy. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.